I believe in total transparency when you are in a relationship. You can't say you are intimate if you are not totally transparent. I want to tell you that your intimidators are intimidated by you. So don't be intimidated by their intimidations. Every parent has a responsibility. You see, every child will be limited by the limitations of the parents. The title of my message this morning is called, Are You a Spiritual Target? Part 4. Listen to this. Satan's army is organized. Jesus said it. He said that the kingdom of the enemy is not divided. It is the kingdom of God that is divided. They have rank. They know who is boss. They know everybody respects themselves. Satan's kingdom is not divided, but his assignment is to divide the kingdom of God. And he seems to be succeeding. What am I trying to say? He divides brother and brother, church member to church member, husband from wife, children and parents. I pray that the spirit of division will not succeed in your home. But he works through groups. They don't work alone. So a demon spirit, are you following what I'm saying? You know, the whole thing is not just demon, but let me tell you, a large proportion of Jesus' message was talking about the devil and demons. Mute spirit. You cannot enter into a strong man's house unless you bind a strong man. A lot of his ministry was preaching, but a good proportion was casting out demons. I actually have a record, one of these days I'll share it with you, of how many miracles he did, healing. Most of his miracles were healing. The next were casting out of demons. And what am I trying to say to you? This is something we need to be aware about. And so in his assignments, listen to this, they work in groups. So they could send the spirit of lust. That will be the opening spirit. Remember, so the lords of the Philistines, the general sent Delilah. She was the opening spirit, as it were. Are you getting what I'm saying? Because I'm using Delilah and her story, that whole story, in the physical to explain to you what happens in the spiritual. Delilah is a spirit. Was a person in the Old Testament, but in the New Testament, it is a spirit. Jezebel was a person in the Old Testament, but in the New Testament, it is a spirit. And so here we see that they send an opening spirit. You go and entice, and we will come later. Then they send another man to come and shave the head. And then the Bible now goes on to record that then the Philistines now came in. And then they now said, the Philistines are upon you. Which means she was not working alone. Let me tell you this. First of all, many times Satan will send a spirit of lust. And then all of a sudden you wake up it could be in the middle of the night. You have a certain kind of dream or something, and then you don't even know. And a spirit of lust comes in, and you're walking around. Anything that you see moving, you are lusting after it. Anything in skirt, that's if you're a man. Anything in trousers, if you're a woman. Or, these days, anything. Just anything. Now, you get what I'm saying? And that's what you call a spirit of lust. And then, by the time that spirit entices you enough, then it convinces you that you'll be happier if you just opened up some pornographic material. And that moves on to what you call the spirit of perversion. And then if you entertain that and you start to watch that and to listen, to view that kind of thing, and then you do that long enough, then they now invite higher spirit, the spirit of adultery. And then they take over. Or they could start with the spirit of discouragement. And then if you entertain that enough, discouragement by itself is not a spirit. But then if you sit in that place for long enough, then some things will come and sit on you. And then when the spirit of discouragement does its work and he sees that you are well seated, then they will bring in the spirit of depression. And then with the spirit of depression, eventually, the spirit of suicide. They work in groups. They are systematic. And we also see things like the spirit of anger. If you do not have good control over it, like God told to Cain, he said to him, Cain, he said that, how did he put it again? That sin is standing at your door and his desire is to have you, but that you should rule over it. The word there is called sin could also be translated that a demon is waiting at your door and his desire is for you. Be careful. You need to master or rule over it.